Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to some Flight Sim World. And before we get going, let's have a quick look at the radio. I am starting my round England trip today. So this is a flight from Rochester to Clacton. If you don't know what Clacton is, that's completely forgivable, because neither do I. I actually looked up Clacton to see if there was any interesting information about it, but I couldn't find any. But it's a place to fly to, and it's a start. So, let's get on with it. First thing I want to do is establish the cruising altitude. Actually, the first thing I should probably do is take off, right? So let's do that. Get all my stuff taken care of. Yeah, brakes, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're good. Let's just get going. Dodgy takeoff there. This is on fair weather. I've got a little bit of a crosswind apparently. I'm not too worried about it though. So, oh, there we are. There's our needle. We've now picked up the Clacton VOR. So I want to get, I want to head north until that needle starts to deflect towards the center. And then once that happens, let's throttle it back slightly so we're not redlining the engine. And then I'm going to turn towards the VOR and basically fly towards it until I fly over it. And then I will turn southeastish and land at Clacton, which is over there somewhere. So basically, I'm flying blind with a radio, right? This is going to be fun. I say I'm really enjoying Flight Sim World. The ability just to log into the sim and take off as rapidly as you can is really nice. And the fact that I don't have to have like a million other third-party apps open in the background is also quite nice. So update 11 came out this week. That was a little disappointing, wasn't it? But you know what? I'm glad that they are confident enough to turn around and say, listen, you know what? It's not ready. We're not going to put it in. That's a good thing. I respect that kind of decision making. If it ain't ready, don't put it in the update. Don't break the sim. I know it's early access. And I know bugs are, should be expected. But let's not add them if we don't have to, right? But you know what? It speaks volumes for their QA team as well, who do a great job. And it also means that update 12 is going to be even more exciting. Let's trim this thing up now. At an altitude I'm happy with. I can just skirt the bottom of the clouds. Okay, so we are now flying towards the VOR on the 226 radial, and it's about 25, 26 nautical miles from me. You know what? I still haven't changed my tail numbering on my aircraft. Dear. Whiteout conditions. You know what? Let's turn the lights on. Bing. Alright. Yeah, I was going to do a whole, spiel about, I'm flying from Rochester to Clacton-On-Sea. This is a bunch of cool information on Clacton-On-Sea. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any cool information on Clacton-On-Sea. It's not a particularly remarkable place, but it's got a runway, so it'll work. Now that there in front of me, that is Southend. Did you know that there is a very expensive golf club near there? Oh, actually, if you can name the James Bond movie in which Southend Airport was used, then answers on a postcard, obviously. That does not include you, Mr. Ian, because you should know that one. Actually, most people... Well, no, I don't know. Yes, Southend actually used to be a pretty substantial airport. Actually, used to do a lot of international flights over there. Used to. I think TWA flew out of there for a while. So I'm slightly to the left of my radial, so we will make our turn. Now, there is an NDB coming up almost directly underneath me. Well, I'm going to pass almost over the top of it. It's the Southend NDB, but yeah, you know what, I could be bothered to use it. The Clacton one should get me there, since it's right next to the airport that I'm headed for. Honestly, I should probably call the airport and ask for permission to fly over, but I'm not flying that precisely, I think is the word. You know what, let's just skirt the edge of the airport here. I think, what is it, at this altitude, it's 10, is it 10 nautical miles at this altitude? Up at some point. What else happened this week? Oh yes, Just Fight. Yes, what a fantastic group of people. They released the very first third-party add-on for Flight Sim World. Much to my surprise, actually, I wasn't really expecting it. The Arrow 3, very nice aircraft. I've got it in my wish list. I may or may not purchase it. I doubt I will. Whilst it's a really nice aircraft, I'm not particularly interested in flying it. I'm going to expand on that thought in a minute. But I will say it is very well detailed, very well crafted aircraft with many very good features. In fact, it is up to the usual quality standards of Just Flight, which actually do meet the quality standards of Dovetail Flight Sim World. Now, if you remember from a previous live stream, Steve did say that one of the things that they are looking for from their third-party vendors is to maintain a specific level of quality that Dovetail expect from the add-ons, right? Which is great. I don't think there's anything wrong with expecting that kind of quality from an add-on, especially if you're going to be paying that much money. Which brings me on to another point. A lot of people were very, very surprised at the cost of this add-on. Don't be. Honestly, that's about average. This is not a cheap hobby. Ask anyone. Or rather, ask anyone who's actually been in this hobby for more than 5 years. They will tell you they have spent more money on it than they care to admit. I'm one of them. I've spent a fair few dollars on flight sim stuff. You know, for FSX, A3D, hardware. I've spent way too much money than I probably should have done. If you've been in flight sim for a while, you'll know that in the past, you, like me, have downloaded a third-party add-on and thought, this is fantastic. Installed it and discovered that, whilst being fantastic, it actually broke one of my other add-ons. I've spent many hours, in fact, going through config files trying to figure out exactly what got broken and fix it. You know, you've got 5 or 6 different add-ons loaded in, you've got a new mesh running, and everything is perfectly fine. You download this airport that you purchased for $20, and suddenly you've got this mesa sitting in the middle of maybe, you know, Arizona, with an airport on top of it, because there's a conflict with some of the third-party apps. Now, one of the really cool things about using Dovetail using Steam is what they're saying is that they have looked at and tested, hopefully, this third-party add-on, and not only does it pass their quality concerns for Flight Sim World, but it is compatible with Flight Sim World and all the other DLCs available. Which means if you buy an official DLC from the Steam Workshop, or sorry, not the Steam Workshop, if you buy an official DLC from the Steam library, you should have absolutely no problem using it with other DLCs from the Steam library. Now, if you get DLCs outside of the Steam library, there's no guarantee that they won't break something. And you also won't get support from Dovetail because you went outside their bounds. In that case, you would have to approach the vendor that you purchased it from to find out what happened. Now, this is true of Train Sim. There are some really good routes for Train Simulator, but they are also very expensive. Well, for me. If you're independently wealthy, they're probably perfectly okay for you. In which case, if you look down in the comments, you'll find a donate button. Thank you very much. The idea of owning all of them is absolutely insane. You're looking at probably close to $1,000 worth of merchandise to own all of them. So collecting probably isn't going to be something you're going to want to do. Pick and choose as DLCs, as aircraft become available for Flight Sim World. Pick and choose the ones you are really genuinely interested in. Don't just collect them because they look cool. Do that by going to the third-party websites and download them for free and install them manually instead of through Steam, because you will be able to, just like you can in Train Sim. You can download from external websites and install without too much trouble. Right, now, that there looks like a cloud, but it also looks like Clacton, I think. Is that Clacton? It's kind of hard to tell. But I'm flying directly towards the VOR, so once I pass over it, I should know for sure. But I'm still a fair distance off. Let's go external again. Bleep. I love these clouds. I do. They're really cool. I like the shading they've got on them, how they're nice and white on the top, and then they're nice and dark on the bottom. It's great. It's those little details that I really enjoy about this kind of thing. That's not quite so good, but that's getting fixed. I honestly can't wait for this to get released to the point where, well, to be released, officially released as a in quotation finished product, because at that point we can start looking at the eye candy. We can start looking at scenery for the ground. We can start looking at cleaning up these coastlines. Because right now, whilst I agree these coastlines are pretty bad, they remind me of FSX and prepared vanilla. I don't see the point in working on them right now because honestly, they don't affect the way I fly. Weather, other aircraft, ATC, that affects, how I fly an aircraft more than what the coastline looks like. So I'm prepared to wait. All I can say is I think 2018 is going to be kind of expensive as far as DLCs go. Oh well, it is what it is. That's part of the pain of the hobby. Right, so that's the airport I'm aiming for. So I really don't need to worry about the VOR anymore. What I do need to worry about is getting down and landing on it. So let's cut the throttle a little bit. Gotta slow down to go down. That's my mantra. So I'm just going to keep my eye on that airport because I don't really know which direction it's facing. I can't even read those numbers. Damn. 18? Is that 18 or 16? Get the binoculars on. Oh god, I can't read it because it's... Okay, I think it's 18. Ah! Oh no! There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah. Whew. Trim her up a little bit so I'm not like nose diving towards the town there. Is it on? There it is. Okay, now I should be able to read that. Whoops. Oh god. 16. Okay. Whew. Okay, so we'll go out over the sea and we'll come in from the east. Maybe that was 18. Did I say 36? Huh. 36. Interesting. Right. Down to 1,000 feet. Doing good. Clacton. It's an interesting place to visit. Okay. So let's turn this puppy around now. Wait a minute. How far away am I? I get too carried away. Whoops. Nuts to the rudder. 500 feet. There we go. Oh, who planted those trees in the way? Son of a biscuit. Inconsiderate people, I swear. Oh, I like this tree. I'm going to plant it right here. You know it's in the way of the runway, right? Yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to use my trim a little bit here. Oh! That's horrible. You suck. There's trees at the other end of the runway, too. There you go. I'm just going to trim it for them. Suck it. Whoopsie. There we go. Here. Whoops. Leg one of my stupidity complete. Oh well, that's it for the minute. If you've enjoyed this, I'm really sorry.